Okay, so this is not a response to the last video that I made, but I do want to acknowledge a channel that I was on a day ago. It's the Noflyzone Boricua, and I'm gonna put a link to their channel in the description. I want to thank these guys very, very much. You have no idea what it was like for me to be able to have a conversation with people who were from my upbringing, places that I lived in New York City, and all the things that occurred that we were all familiar with in that city during that time. These guys made me feel so welcome, and there was so much love that they expressed, that their subscribers expressed. They made me feel comfortable and at home, and I want to thank them again from the bottom of my heart. Big Lou, Nelson, and Carlos, I want to thank them very much. Now, I want to give some acknowledgement to Tim from Vegas Prison Stories, I think is the name. I hope I got it right. My apologies if I didn't. But that's where I stumbled upon Big Lou, and the way we connected was that he has a flag of Puerto Rico, which is where I was born. So I responded in some comment, and I threw the flag out there as well, and that's how we connected. And so he invited me over to his channel, and I went over there not just as a spectator, but they sent me the link so I can get up in there and talk with them. And it was like I said, man, it was amazing. It was amazing. And thank you again, and thank you, Tim, for allowing that exposure to take place. Shout out also to Pinky. Her channel is Keeping It 100 with the number 100. I'm gonna put a link up for her channel and for Tim's channel as well. She finally, after like 18 years of me putting comments, she finally acknowledged my existence and gave me a hello. Jeez, after 18 years. My God. Thank you, Pinky. So, fascinating the memories that I had. I was able to remember, and these gentlemen were able to help me remember certain things, because truth be told, I'm trying to forget a lot of stuff that happened there. It was a struggle. You know, growing up in the city was a struggle. From what I understand, and I hope the audio's okay, because I got my truck on, and I don't know if it's making it harder for you guys to hear me, but I'll talk louder. So, before I lose my chain of thought, so there was an article, I think it was in the New York Times, that was talking about how something like between 80 and 83% of the New York State prison population, the state prison population, came from 8 neighborhoods in New York City. So 8 neighborhoods in the city made up somewhere between 80 and 83% of the state prison population. So I grew up in 4 of them, and we were reminiscing about what it was like to grow up in neighborhoods like those. It was a challenge, especially if you were a male. It was a challenge. But thank you. Now I'm going to go into the trucking. So there've been a lot of challenges the survival rate for people just coming into the industry and coming in as an owner-operator, or going into the industry as an owner-operator recently, has had casualties. A lot of people have been going out, turning in their equipment, selling their equipment. They've been getting out. It's been a challenge. It's been a challenge for companies that have been around for maybe 10 plus years. They even had to go bankrupt. So, how do you survive something like this? Well, if you have previous experience going through this kind of thing, you have a better possibility of surviving this economic event. One thing is to live below your means. Live below your means. If you're starting out, try to live as you did before you got your license. Try to have your expenses remain as it was before you got your license. If you were making $15 an hour, continue living that way. Stack up your money. Learn to invest. It's very important. There are platforms, and I'll leave one in the description, but there are platforms that you can participate in where you can invest your money. I personally am not a fan of banks. I would much prefer to use, and this is not financial advice, but I prefer to keep my money somewhere where the value of whatever I keep it in grows or pays a dividend. So I'm going to leave a link in the description also of one of the platforms that I use. It's one of my favorite platforms, M1 Finance. It's excellent for long-term holding of stocks. When I'm talking long-term, I'm talking 5+ years. So I don't use it for trading. I use it for stacking my money and keeping the returns coming in and being reinvested. I've been in the stock game since 1996. So I have, after going through the .com bubble, after going through the mortgage crisis, I'm fully convinced that long-term investing is an excellent tool for you to acquire wealth and maintain your wealth. So again, I'm gonna leave the link in the description. Not financial advice, people. Just saying. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you all. And thank you, Noflyzone Ricans. Thank you, Vegas Prison Stories. Thank you, Keeping It 100. You guys keep me entertained, awake, remembering. Yeah, I can feel my hair growing right now. So I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna let you guys go with that. Hey, Gymnasium here. Stay fresh and keep it moist.